Let's find our chairs. All right, welcome to our yoga class today. So just a few things. We've been doing some classes on how to deal with arthritis in the body. And so just to recap, last week, we talked about what arthritis is. There's the two most common are osteo and rheumatoid, but just to recap, generally speaking, if you have arthritic joints in your body or arthritis in your body, just posture is the one thing that if you can remember, sitting with good posture, standing with good posture. And basically that means, to try to not sit like this, because then all your joints are off kilter. It's creating tension on joints. Yeah, and so just finding that nice tall spine with the head above the shoulders. Yeah, when you're standing, palms forward, we want the shoulders to not roll forward. So just be aware of your posture when you're sitting and standing. If you can click into that, or you can even watch people and watch their posture. And that reminds you sometimes to, oh, I better, lift my heart up a little bit and get a nice tall spine. Yeah. So that's number one, to alleviate that pain in our body. And number two is, we're in the society where we push through pain. It's like, just get through it, push through pain. A lot of the discomfort of arthritis is not necessarily just in the joint, but it's also around the muscles around the joints and the tendons. And when they're overstretched or tense, that is what can create a lot of the pain of arthritis. So to just take poses, to not linger too long in poses, to come in and out of poses that we do and just be gentle on, because if you think about pushing through pain, what does pain do? It makes us tense, right? So the more we push through pain, maybe the more we tense up around those joints, and then that's when the pain can happen. Yeah. And so, and also warmth and cold. So typically if you feel stiff in a joint, that's when you want to put warmth on to relax and get that joint moving. If there's sharp pain, if there's pain, that's typically cold is good for that. Cold compresses, that gets the inflammation down. Yeah, and you can play with both of those, right? All right, and finally, so today I wanted to talk about other things we can do to minimize the discomfort of arthritis. And that's a lot of it can be our diet as well. So oils, so putting oil in and on our body can be really helpful. So good oils, vitamin D, vitamin E, and this is just suggestions. Flaxseed oil is really good. Olive oil is good for us. And fish oil, we've heard that, right? So ingesting oil is really good for us. Always checking with your doctor. If you're on any blood thinners, you got to talk to your doctor about fish oil. And then eating. So you've heard it a million times, fruits, vegetables, try a clean diet. A lot of arthritis, pain, and inflammation starts in our colon. If our colon is clogged and unhappy, it can cause inflammation through our whole body. So keeping a nice clean diet as much as you possibly can, and basically avoiding the big ones, deep fried food, refined sugar is not necessarily good for us. And you probably already know and have a gut feel of what is good or not. But yeah, and oiling on top of your body, or even just massaging. So it's really nice to have, you can use sesame oil that's warming, or almond oil or jojoba oil, and just massaging oil into your joints, because it seeps in to your body. Because what we put on our skin is what goes in our body. Yeah. And so just massaging with oils can really be helpful. Yeah. So those are just some tips for helping to alleviate that arthritis in our body. Yeah. And we'll continue for the next couple of classes, just little tips. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to email me. So let's begin. Let's start with a nice tall spine, good posture, hands on our lap. Actually, let's just start to move a little bit and shake. And again, another important point that we went over last week is moving each day. Tendency when we're feeling stiff and with a little discomfort in our joints is to not move it, right? We're thinking, oh, I don't want to move this, this hurts. But you do need to move a little bit, just not pushing yourself through pain. Yeah, good. So shake, 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 blink your eyes. Good. And come to stillness. Good. Just settle down really quickly. Let's bring our hands onto our rib cage here. Relax the shoulders. Close our eyes. Good. And let's start to breathe. So breathing in and out. And just notice the motion in your rib cage as you breathe in and out. Breathing in, the ribs widen. As you breathe out, they drop in. So just feeling the breath. So if we're just naturally breathing, not deep breathing, we barely feel any movement in the rib cage. But when we take deeper breaths, we feel that widening and that relaxing of the rib cage. Yeah. One more breath here, and then keeping your eyes closed, just lay your fingers onto your chest, kind of that heart area, and relax your upper arms down. And again, continue to breathe in, take a deep breath in, and breathe out, and notice the movement of your chest. You feel the chest rise as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, the chest relaxes. So everything expands as you breathe in, and everything relaxes as you breathe out. And now, keeping the eyes closed, just float your hands onto your lap. Palms are up, and touch your thumbs to your pointer fingers. Coming into a little mudra, chin mudra. This mudra helps to direct energy from our navel to our throat area. Yeah, the whole center of our body. Good, and then we're going to breathe in now for the count of 5, just you can count. 5, hold the breath if you can for the count of 5, and breathe out slowly for a little bit longer count, maybe 7. And if 5 is too much, do 4. But take 3 more long breaths, breathing in. Holding the breath comfortably but relaxed at the top. And breathing out. Relaxing the belly. Relax the belly as you breathe in. And ribs expand and heart lifts. And as you breathe out, slowly heart drops, ribs collapse, belly draws back. All very natural and all very easy. Breath is long and slow and even. Just feeling that expansion as you breathe in. Belly relaxes so the diaphragm can push or fill up, so the lungs can fill up. And then as you exhale, belly draws in so the diaphragm pushes up and lets the air expel. Mindful breathing here. And the next time that you breathe out, just relax the body. You can release the mudra. Yeah. And just notice your natural breath. And when you're feeling ready, You can feel free to flutter your eyes open. So little bit, such a little bit goes a long way, but our breath, you know, when you think of each and every day, right? How often do you really just sit, or you can even be walking and cue into your breath and just mindfully breathe, right? Most of the time, all day long, we don't even think about breathing, right? So our breath can get really sort of shallow, you know, and not deep because we're not thinking about it, right? And our autonomic system is just, you know, saying, hey, let's get some oxygen in and out of here. So it's very automatic. But when we do mindful breathing is when we can relax the muscles, when we can get more oxygen in for our brain. So it's good to have some kind of mindful breathing each day. Maybe what we just did, just that 5, hold for 5, breathe out for 8. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's bring our hands down on our lap. Good. Find that tall spine if it left. Good. And now take a nice big breath in. Exhale it out. And as you breathe in next time, slowly turn your head over to the right. And breathe. A slow breath here. And when the head turns to the right, we're going to roll our eyes and look over to the left. And breathe. And it's good for our eyes, strength, or all those little muscles around our eyes. Yeah. And then the next time, relax your eyes back forward. And on your next exhale breath, slowly turn the head back forward. Find your nice tall spine. Inhale, turn your head to the other side. And just turn it slowly. The slower we go, the further we can get here. Good. And then roll your eyes and look over to the left or to the right, the opposite of where you're turned to. Yeah. And breathe. Looking right, turning left. And as you exhale, relax your eyes, relax the body, and slowly bring your gaze back forward. Good. All right. And then take a nice big breath in and lift your shoulders up to your ears. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders and just melt them down. Good. And lift your shoulders up. And exhale, release them down. Good. And then we're going to do a little facelift, easy little facelift. And so this facelift gets into these lower muscles here. So we have between 20 and 24 muscles just in our face. And how often do we work out our face, right? But we can, just like the rest of our body, we can do exercises to get rid of this. And we can do exercises to tighten everything up. We can do the same thing for our face. So I like to just throw a facelift in there every now and then. So we're just going to keep our lips together. We're going to lift our chin up slightly, maybe about halfway. And then we're going to take the tip of our tongue and touch the palate, the upper palate of our mouth, and then relax the tongue. So 20 times, you're just going to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and then relax it. And then release when you've done about 20. Yeah. And now to take that just a little further, and you know, when you start, it's kind of pretty easy, but then as you go, you're like, okay, I can feel these muscles all engaging here. And this time we're going to add our hands. So we're going to bring one hand onto around where your collarbone is, where your necklace lies. Yeah. And we're going to lift our chin again, keeping our lips closed. And we're going to take one hand just underneath our chin, like we're going to try to help lift the chin. Good. And same thing, we're going to just gently press into our hands as we take our tongue and touch it to the roof of your mouth and then relax it. And your hands can be gently pressing on your collarbone and gently lifting your chin up. And do about 20. And when you're done, just release slowly the head back down. Yeah. And doing that each day, you know, before you brush your teeth or something like that. And over time, you'll see that these muscles here will start to get a little less gravity pulling down on them. Yeah. Also good for our tongue. Yeah. Strengthening our tongue. Tongue is the strongest muscle in our body. Yeah. So keeping it strong. Good. All right, well, that was funny. All right, so we're gonna do some head rolls now. So take a big breath in, and as you exhale, drop your head to your chin, chin to chest. Good, stretch your shoulders back, and then slowly start to do just 3 slow circles with your head. Inhaling up, exhaling to the other side and down. We'll keep going. Slowly notice if there's any muscle tension in the top of your shoulders and your neck, maybe the back of your upper back. And just move slowly through that. Next time you come forward, pause and reverse. Just go the opposite direction. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. Slow. So all these just little slow stretching movements are important on a daily basis. Just keeping the body moving. Next time you come forward, pause, lift the head back up. Okay. All right, we're going to relax our arms down alongside our body. I don't know if you can see my feet here, but we're just going to be doing a little dorsiflexion, which is the not up on our tiptoes, but when we lift our toes and our weight goes back just a little bit. That's dorsiflexion for the feet. Really good exercise for our balance. Yeah, good. And release the toes down. And again, lift your toes up as high as you can and hold. Lift and hold. And release. Now we're going to quicken that. We're going to add the hands. So hands are just down alongside your body. We're going to lift the fingers and the toes up and release. Lift fingers and toes and release. And so just keep going, lifting fingers and toes, releasing. Yeah, again, this is very simple, but really nice for our feet and our hands and our wrists and our ankles, right? Strengthening, keeping all of this, all those little tendons stretched, all of our muscles working and engaging. Next time toes and hands come up, pause and hold and lift. Lift a little higher, lift a little higher, higher, and release. Good. And relax. You can just tap your heels, you can shake your hands, move your body, just get the tension out. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers like you're playing the piano. Also good for that stiffness in our joints whenever we have it. Yeah, good. And relax. Good. I'm feeling like itching on the top of my feet. Evidently, I needed that circulation. Yeah, and relax. Good. All right, coming into scooting forward into our chair here. And coming into a little cat-cow pose, but I think we're going to do a little clasp hands up. So first we're going to inhale and reach our arms forward and up. And then exhale with a straight spine. Just come forward a little bit and drop your arms and reach them back. So this is just really nice Stretch for the shoulders. Inhale, forward and up. Big breath. Exhale as you exhale and deflate forward and back with the arms to wherever it's comfortable on your shoulders. Take it to your range of motion, which is not my range of motion or anybody else's. Yeah, good. And one more time, we're just gonna reach the arms forward and up, and we're gonna keep them up, right? Relax the elbows, interlace your hands above your head. Good, flip your palms up, press into your feet, and stretch your arms nice and long. All right, let's take a breath in here. And as you exhale, round your back just gently and drop your arms forward halfway, pressing your palms gently forward. And then inhale, press into your feet, float your arms back up. And then exhale, just a gentle curl, drop your head, just relax your head forward. Don't come too far, just halfway there. Press into your feet to lift up. One more time, and exhale, curl forward. Good. And inhale, slowly bring the arms up. Good. Bend the elbows, unclasp your hands, and allow the arms to slowly float down. Good. All the way. And circle. Circle the arms, bend the shoulders. Yeah, just get rid of all that little tension that built up there. All right, so we're at the front of our chair here. We're gonna bring our legs out wide. Good. So knees right above the heels. So we don't want the feet wider than the knees, right? Or the opposite, right? Knees wider than the feet. Good. So nice stacked joints here in the knees. Good. And we're gonna just do a little bit here. So take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, press your belly forward as if you're gliding your pelvis forward. And then just come a little bit forward with a straight spine. Good. And breathe. Good. And then press into your feet and slowly come back up. Then exhale, come forward. And maybe come over to the right a little bit. Press into your feet to come up and back. Feel the belly tuck in when you go back to the other side and forward. Feel free to close your eyes here and feel what's going on in your hips, inner thighs, weight shifting from one sit bone to the other as you do your circles. Notice if there's any discomfort and pain that you're trying to push through and modify, right? Don't make as big as circles. Maybe you feel like you want more. Yes. So take care of yourself. Next time you come forward, pause, and let's just do a few circles opposite direction. Good. Enjoying this moment, this opening of our hips. Doing these circles help to strengthen the core and back muscles. And next time you come forward, pause, and then slowly bring the body straight back up. Good. We're going to take our left hand and bring it across to our right thigh. And right arm is just relaxed down. On an inhale breath, we're going to reach the arm, that right arm, forward and up. Good. And take a big breath in, stretch up tall. And exhale, you can hold on to your thigh as you just very gently lean over to the left. I'm going to do a little dance here. Press into your feet, inhale up. And as you exhale, slowly drop that arm, that right arm, down and back just a little bit, like you're doing a little backstroke. Pressing into your feet, slowly lift that right arm back up. Bring the body back forward. As you exhale, reach up and over, coming into that little side bend again. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, release that right arm onto the left. So grab the left thigh with the right hand. So you're crisscrossed at your either upper arms or lower arms or wrists. Yeah, good. And then on an inhale breath, lift the heart. And on an exhale breath, gently drop your head and reach the lower back to the back of your chair, just a little bit. Squeezing out our lymphatic system here. Again, inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, drop the head and just reach your low back to the back of your chair. And then inhale, slowly come back up, and exhale, release the arms. Good, and shake them out. Good. Flat. Now we're going to put the right hand onto the left thigh, and left arm hangs down. On an inhale breath, reach the arm, just float it up. Big breath in, exhale it out. On an inhale breath, reach up and over. Good. And then inhale, come up, and exhale, turn a little bit to the left and drop that arm back. Good. And inhale, come up as the body comes forward. And exhale, come into your side bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach back. Good. And inhale, come up. And exhale, slowly bring your hands down in front of you to the right leg. Good. And then inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, round it forward. Good. Do that a couple times. Inhale, lifting the heart and the head. And exhale, come forward. Yeah, just little baby cat pose. And then on your next inhale breath, come to a nice tall spine and release the hands out and shake, shake, shake it out. We've been sitting here with our wide stance for a little bit, bringing your hands onto your thighs and toe, heel here. Back to about hip distance apart. Heels a little bit further back. So we're gonna do a little bit, this is challenging, so take care of yourself, but we're gonna use the momentum of our arms coming up to sort of come up to a little stand. I'm gonna demonstrate before we do it. Yeah, so arms are just hanging down alongside the body. And then as we draw the arms forward, we're gonna come up to a little stand. And then as we exhale, we're gonna sit back down. So you don't have to come up far, right? So just try a couple of those and make your way to a stand. Or you can just stand up, yeah. Coming up a little bit and dropping down. Coming up a little bit and dropping down. How you doing? And this time coming up and come all the way up. Hello, everybody. Bring your palms together, hands to heart. Yeah. So that's also a nice way to practice that core work, you know, engaging your core and using the momentum of your upper body to stand up. Kind of a fun little practice. Okay, so back to the chair. You can scoot your chair forward. Let's just move and shake and move. And good. All right, wiggling the feet, wiggling the hands, all the joints. Think of all the little joints you can kind of curl your fingers here, yeah, and relax. All right, so coming into a little bit of a wider stance. Let's do our side to side, soft knees. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And relax. That's so nice for all of our ankle joints, our knee joints safely, right? Hip joints. Yes, and we are just so connected every way, which way. So again, when we're standing with, you know, our weight on one leg, that's putting so much pressure on this hip in a bad way, right? Because our femur is not directly into our hip joint. So just having that nice tall spine, palms forward, toes gently pressing into the floor. When we stand and we're moving around, not sitting, we tend to forget about our toes, right? Our toes are a pivotal part of our balance and strength. and helping us to propel forward. Yeah, so using our toes takes also pressure off of our knee joints. Good. And then we're going to start a little march. So let's start to warm up the body. Lift the chest, nice tall chest. Yes, coming into a nice march here. See how that feels on your joints. Good. All different options here. You can lift knees higher if you want. You can lift arms higher if you want. Yes, you can even break into a little jog if you want to do that. Yeah. But again, just moving and marching. And again, if it gets to the point where your joints are feeling uncomfortable, then you modify, right? So you don't want to irritate them. You want to move them, you want to challenge them, but you don't want to irritate your joints. Good. All right. And then slow it down a little bit, your march. Good. Getting into our hips. So come to a little wider stance. I like this one for, you can just feel your glute muscles start to work behind you there to support your hips. Yeah. And play around with this. If this is uncomfortable, modify and come in narrower. If you're wanting more, you can widen your stance. Yeah. And feel those thighs working. Yeah, all those muscles around your hips. Good. And then slowly come back to a gentle little march. Good. And then eventually just come into lifting your heels. Good. And slowly relax. Good. Let the heart rate come back to center. Take a nice big breath in and let it go. Good. Do a little wiggle out, little bit of wiggle. Good. All right. We're going to bring our hands forward, flip our palms up, and then just come back and forth, bending at your elbows here. Good. Just a few little elbow pumps. Next time your fingers come to your shoulders, pause. Bring your elbows together or looking to touch. And then reach your elbows up towards the sky and reach them out and maybe back a little bit and down, making big circles with our elbows. Inhale up and out and exhale down. Yeah, nice and slow. Big circles. Feel that stretch on your side body. Next time the elbows come down, pause and do a couple, 2 or 3 reverse. Go the opposite direction. Toes are playing a part in this. Toes are gently pressing into the floor, taking the pressure off the lower body. Yeah, allowing the upper body to be lighter and relax and release. Yeah, whenever we use our lower body, it creates lightness in our upper body. We're not carrying the whole load up top. Yeah, good. All right. So coming into a little bit, again, wider stance. And this time we're going to bring our toes out to about 2 and 10 o'clock here. And you can just start by wiggling your hips side to side, slowly gliding them side to side. Nice stretch for this inner thigh muscle, that weaker muscle in our upper legs. Yeah. And come back to center. Being mindful of your knees. Good. You might want to maybe scoot your heels forward a little bit if you don't feel too precarious. There, we're going to come into goddess legs. So the intention to have the thighs reaching back as you drop your pelvic floor straight down to the ground, and even tuck your pelvis forward a little bit. Yes. And see what's going on in your knees. If it's uncomfortable, you modify. Good. Good. All right. So you want a little bit of a challenge here, feeling these thighs firing up a little bit. Yes. And then floating the arms out to either side. Your chair, if it's in front of you, you always have the option to hold on with one hand and just do one arm. And And cactus your arms here. Good. See if you can lift that heart, have a nice tall spine. Good. And even lift the chin up slightly and find your breath. And notice your toes. Are your toes just like hanging out again? If you can gently press your toes into the earth, notice if that takes any pressure off your knee. Yeah. The little toes are working for us. And big breath here. And notice that each time you exhale, see if you can soften. Soften your fingers. Maybe melt your hips down closer to the earth. Come into this beautiful pose. Thighs are gently reaching back. Opening up that whole first, second, and third chakra. Our pelvic floor to our belly button. Yeah, smiling and breathing. Again, any point in time, if it's starting to stress your joints, you back out. You come out of the pose. Yes. Good. And the next time that you exhale, relax your arms down, bring your head back to neutral. Good. And again, using those toes, press down into your toes, your feet to slowly straighten, lifting the body, upper body back up nice and tall. Good. A little still soft bend in the knees. Good. And you can slowly pivot your one toe forward and the other toe forward. And then heel toe, your feet back to that hip distance apart. Good. And shake it out. Keeping that nice lifted heart. Yes. And relax. All right. So coming into, this dorsiflex, standing dorsiflex. So my suggestion is to have your chair handy here, right? We're going to attempt to do that. So you can have your chair in front of you. I might move mine off to the side just so you can, I think you might be able to see them. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lifting our toes up and balancing on our heels. Dorsiflex balance pose is one of the most disruptive balance challenges available, right? You can just feel that. So when we're holding on, you don't feel it as much. Then drop your toes, relax your feet. Good. Now we're going to maybe do it with one hand. Yes. All right. So first, lift the toes up. All right, balance on those heels. And see if you can let go of one hand. Good. And maybe you come onto one finger of the upper hand. Other hand. Lift your toes up and relax your toes down now. All right, and you probably all know what's coming next. So we're going to try to balance on our heels. We're going to get a little wobbly. Don't fall over. And the chair is always there to come back to, right? So let's start with hands on the chair. Good. And then lift your toes up. You're on your heels now. Maybe look at a spot in front of you, get a nice drishti gaze going. See if you can release one hand. Yeah. And see if you can, it's challenging for me, one finger. And then see if you can float that finger up off the chair. Just that, your toes want to drop down, right? Just play around with it, practice lifting those toes, releasing your hands. Yeah. Good. And that's challenging. Release the feet. Good. And shake it out. Good. Now, let's come back to center and let's come up onto our tiptoes now. Just walk side to side on the balls of our feet. Yes, stretching. So that dorsiflex also strengthens our toes. Yes. And relax. And now come back up with your toes lifted and just march side to side on your heels. Yes, and again, you can try one hand. I don't know that I can't lift my other hand up off the floor and stay balanced, but just that intention of, can I walk and move on my heels without holding on? Yeah, and relax. That one's that plays a number on your brain, because your brain is like, whoa, they're going back, push them forward. Yeah, and so it's good practice. Wiggle out your feet, wiggle out your toes. Yeah. All right. We're gonna do a little bit of further stretch on our back hamstrings here. Yes. Into pyramid pose. So you can keep your chair where it is, yes, and you might want to use it, but we're gonna do pyramid pose. I'm gonna take my chair out to see the legs. Good. So nice tall spine. Here we are again in our nice tall spine. I hope by now that when you're walking or doing something during the course of your day, you're like, whoa, lift that heart, because I'm walking like this. I don't want to walk like that. Yeah, we're gonna take this right leg now and just slide it back. So you're fully on both feet. Right foot is further back than the left. Bring our hands onto our hips here. Good. So we want to have a little space between the legs. Yeah, if they're a little bit closer together, it's a little more wobbly. Yeah, so you want to have that just straight back. Good. And now we're going to lift our heart and look up. Good. And as you exhale, we're going to start to slide your hips back. Start to reach your heart forward and down towards the floor. Tendency here, you'll probably feel it is in this left knee, it's locking back. Soft bend in that front knee and come a quarter of the way or halfway down as you're looking at the floor. Now you feel that stretch, especially in this front left leg on that hamstring. And now take a breath in, and as you exhale, just very slightly drop your right hip down as you lift your left hip up a little bit, so that your low back is flat. Good. And breathe here. So each breath, maybe you melt a little bit further forward towards the floor. Your spine is straight, head above the shoulders. You're not dropping your head here. And breathe. Any little bit helps. And you notice that right hip wants to lift up. Try to keep that right hip moving down, flattening that sacrum and breathing. 2 more here. 2 and 1. Pressing down into your hips with your hands, pressing that lower body down as you slowly lift the body straight back up. Good. And release the hands down. Shake out the hands. On an inhale breath, now relax the hands. On an inhale breath, step the right foot forward. Good. And just do a little wiggle, little shake. We're going to do that same thing on the other side with this big hamstring muscle in our glutes. Yeah. Good. All right. So feet just coming to your mountain pose. Nice tall spine. Good. Now we're going to take the opposite leg, the left leg, and just step it straight back. Put both feet flat on the floor, little space between the legs. Good. And again, you can have your hands on your hips to start with. Good. Take a breath in again, nice and tall. Lift the heart, look up slightly. Good. And as you exhale, start to slide your hips. Your fingers are pushing your hip bones back as you hinge at your hips. And just come forward to wherever it's comfortable. Soften that right knee. No hyperextending of that right knee, please. Good. And take a nice breath in here. As you exhale, drop your left hip towards the floor as you lift your right hip up. Even out that sacrum. And breathe. Nice big breaths here. And each time you exhale, maybe you melt your heart a little closer to the floor. Yeah. So that dorsiflexion we were doing with our toes. When we strengthen that, if we don't have that strength in our dorsal bones in our feet, that's when one of the bigger risks of a fall. Our feet get really weak. Good. And now pressing down into your hips, down into your toes. Slowly bring your nice flat spine straight back up. Good. And then on an inhale breath, bring that back leg next to the front and shake out your hands. Especially, they were on your hips, so really loosen up those wrists and those fingers. Good. All right. Relax. One more standing pose here. We'll just do a little bit of a back bend. Let's do a little camel pose. Yes, that will also really nice for any back bends are nice for our bones. Good. So let's bring our hands either onto our sacrum, that nice flat sacrum we just made with our pyramid. Yeah, if that's comfortable for you, fingers down. Relax your shoulders. Good. Lift your heart. Lift your chin. Good. You can also just interlace your hands if that having your elbows bent and your hands on your sacrum is not comfortable. Interlace your hands and reach them towards the floor. Big breath in. If your hands are on your sacrum, soften your knees, bend your knees a little bit. And as you exhale, press your belly button forward. If you look up further towards the ceiling, coming into standing camel pose. So here you feel that nice work for your thighs, opening up our heart, opening up our front shoulders, and breathing. Noticing is if there any pain in any part of your body, and if so, can you be willing to come out? And then when you're ready, on an inhale breath, slowly start to straighten the knees, float the hips back, lift the head up, slide your hands down, and roll it out. Shake it out. That's a pretty intense back bend. Wiggle out your feet. Good. We're going to make our way back to our chairs here. So coming to the front of your chair. Good. And maybe we do our little lift the arms up and exhale, sit down a little bit and lift the arms up and exhale just a little bit here. Sending those hips back, arms up and exhale. This time when we come down, you can grab onto your chair. You can just float your hips back onto your chair. That's a good exercise in being aware that whatever we do, however, whenever we can, to use our upper and our lower body for everything. Yeah, good. Even when we're standing and doing task work, but we can engage our core, right? And then hug our muscles into our bones. It just feels lighter up here. Yeah, okay. We're scooted forward into our chairs here. We're gonna just open up our hips a little bit. It's been a little while since we've done that. So take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, let's slide this belly forward and then hinge forward. We did at the beginning. Good. Grab behind your right knee. Press into your feet. As you inhale, lift up. Good. Once the arms are straight, if you can lift your thigh into your belly. Yeah, let's just do a couple circles. Always just comes natural to me here. And options here are a couple. You can guide that ankle on top of your left, right above your knee. If that leg is collapsing, or this is not comfortable, slide and cross at your ankles. And just let this right leg drop open. Good. And again, you can resituate yourself if you want to come a little more forward in your chair. That allows for a little more opening here, even at your ankles. So you're either crossed here or you're up top here. Good. And let's lift our chest. Nice big breath in. And as you exhale, press your belly forward. Keep looking forward for now. Good. And lift your toes up if your leg is up here. And on your next exhale breath, just relax your gaze down towards that upper leg. You can pancake your forearms onto that upper leg if you'd like. And just find your breath here. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Noticing that ankle, that hip joint, that right hip. And see with each exhale, you can close your eyes. And as you exhale, see if you can soften some part of your body. Right? Maybe your shoulders, maybe your fingers, maybe that right hip. Just let it open up a little bit more. And breathe. If you're crossed at your ankles, maybe your right hand with each exhale breath is guiding that right thigh closer to the floor. Yeah, just breathe easy. And then let the body relax and open. And it's the same thing with all of our joints, right? When we allow that the muscles around the joint to relax, relieves that tension, that discomfort. On your next inhale breath, just gently press down into your foot, your standing foot. Slowly float your body back up. Good. And then help that leg, just guide that leg with some help off the other. Good. All right, lots going on in these hip openers. We're opening up not only our hip, all the muscles around it. It's a little bit of a forward bend, so we're getting blood into our brain too. All right, find your tall spine. Same thing on the other side, though it might feel differently. Big breath in. As you exhale, glide your belly button forward. And just come forward a little bit. Grab behind your left knee, the opposite knee now. And press into your feet as you lift the body back up. Arms straighten. Good. That's actually kind of a nice top of your shoulder stretch too. If it's available to you, on an inhale breath, hug your thigh into your belly. Keep your shoulders back. If that's feeling uncomfortable, keep your toe on the floor. You're up here, just a couple circles in one direction and a couple circles in the other direction. Good. And now options for this side. You can either guide that left ankle on top of the right leg. Good. Keep a 90 degree in this standing leg. Good. Yeah, you don't want it to come forward. Yeah, or you are crossing here and just allowing this leg to drop open. Yes. Either one. Good. Nice, tall spine. Big breath. As you exhale, press your chest forward. The body comes forward. You start feeling that stretch. Good. You can lift your left toes up. That makes a little bit more of a stretch. And then release the head down. And breathe. Close your eyes and notice where you're stiff or holding some discomfort. See if you can breathe right into that spot. And as you exhale slowly, see if you can soften there. And if you're crossed at your ankles, maybe your left hand is on the inside left thigh. And with each exhale breath, just draw that thigh a little more open down towards the floor. If you're up top and you want more, you feel like this isn't enough of a stretch, you can lay your forearms on that lower leg. But find your breath and find those areas that are stiff. And as you exhale slowly through your nose, just relax the whole body. Let the whole body soften to this opening. Again, we hold a lot of our negative emotions, our stress, our strain, our fear, our sadness, if we hold it in our hips, our hips become so stiff over time. So we hold on. Hold on to our stuff. Let's let it go. And now pressing down into that standing foot, slowly bring the body, just float it back up. Good. And then help to guide that leg up and off. So there's a big lunar eclipse coming the end of this week. We'll talk about that more in the Friday class. But it's a good time, anytime there's a lunar eclipse, it's a good time for letting go, right? It's great energy, especially this one, Scorpio. It's about emotions. What do you want to let go of emotionally, right? Sometimes you just say to yourself, I just don't want to be sad anymore. Like I'm done with that. And you can make that choice, make the choice to say, no, don't want that anymore in my life. Yeah. Anyway, so got a little bit of that. Let's just wiggle our legs forward and back here just a little bit. And one more time, come back to feet about hip distance apart. Lift your toes up and drop your toes. And lift your toes up and drop. And lift your toes, lift them up, reach them up. Yes, feel all those muscles in your feet. Oh, getting nice and strong. And release the toes down. Good. All right, relax the arms down, glide them back. Grab onto your chair behind you there somewhere. Arms straight, shoulders stretch back, chin lifts up slightly, and breathe into your heart. Nice big breath. Looking up. Back bends and looking up. It's just a form of gratitude. It brings in gratitude. It opens yourself, your body up to the grace that's flowing down on you always. You just need to look up and receive it. And as you exhale, relax and slowly drop the head forward. Looking forward, release your hands. Good. And it is time for us to get ready for final relaxation pose. Either you can lay down, yes, on the ground, or you can scoot all the way back into your chair and settle in. Become really comfortable. Feel your low back supported. Yes, bring a blanket on your lap or your shoulders if you might get a little chilly. If you're laying down, legs are spread a little bit wider apart, arms are spread away from your body. Let's bring our palms back up. And again, let's come into that chin mudra, touching the pointer finger and the thumb. Good. And let's close our eyes. Good. Let's take a nice breath in. Hold the breath at the top. Hold it for as long as you can. And hold it until you have an pretty intense need to exhale, and then just exhale the breath out. Let it go. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, relax the body, hold the breath as long as is comfortable. And again, when you're feeling that little bit of a urge to, that potent desire to exhale, go ahead and let the breath out. And one more. And then the next time you exhale the breath, just relax the whole body. You can let go of the mudra, just arms, palms up on your lap. And begin to soften and relax the whole body. Just for this next 2 or 3 minutes. Feel the body relax. Imagine all of that good work we just did. Stretching, moving the blood around, oxygenating our blood, and allowing it to now sink into a cellular level to every cell of your body. Bathing it in beautiful prana energy, oxygen, allowing all the internal organs to relax so they can function. Relax the head, shoulders, fingers, your hips, your knees, your toes. Whole bodies relax now. Nothing to do, no place else to be on this earth right now, but here. all of your efforts. Gentle little smile on your face. Notice any thoughts. And if there are thoughts in your mind, allow them to just come and go. Let them leave the mind, expand out into the room. Notice how you feel. Notice what relaxation feels like. Know that you have the power to be here at all times. Just decide to feel and be relaxed. And feel free to remain here in this relaxed state for as long as you'd like. And should you choose to come back into this space and time gently, let's take a little bit deeper breath in. And let go of any last bits of tension you might be holding that you're not even aware of. Let it go. Whole body soft. Gently begin to move your fingers and toes, ever so slowly waking yourself up. Feel free to sway the body gently side to side. If you were laying down, you can roll onto one side and eventually make your way back up to a seat. And coming to stillness now, bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer position, palms together. Rest your thumbs onto your beautiful heart. And take a nice breath in and feel your heart rise. And as you exhale, bow your forehead to your fingertips. Feel the shoulders relax. Closing practice today, just with this. The finish line is for the ego, and the journey is for the soul. When you're feeling ready and complete, at your own pace, gently begin to flutter the eyes open, letting the light in slowly as you float your head up. And I thank you all for coming and taking care of yourself today, joining each other in this beautiful practice we call yoga. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.